Send an email, convert a document to PDF, request exhibitor forms, ask about setup times. Are they going to supply canopies? Reach out to that person. Send an email. Send a fax. What's that ding? Which gadget made that sound? Go find that gadget. Make photocopies. Is this your life? If so, I have something for you to consider today that may make things a lot better. What is it? Let's find out. Welcome to Talaterra, a podcast about freelance educators working in natural resource fields and environmental education. Who are these educators? What do they do? Join me, and let's find out together. This is your host, Tania Marien. If you're in search of more time, you'll find it in World Enough and Time, on Creativity and Slowing Down, written by author, poet, and independent educator, Christian McEwen. Let's investigate. In the first chapter of the book World Enough and Time, author Christian McEwen tells a story about Gulliver, the same Gulliver from Gulliver's Travels. She tells us that when the Lilliputians saw Gulliver's watch, they thought of it as some kind of an engine. She also tells us the Lilliputians were under the impression that this watch must have been Gulliver's god, because he was always consulting it. Christian tells this story to make a point. Gulliver had only one timepiece, a timepiece that could be slipped into a pocket when he didn't need it. Things today, of course, are very different. Time is not so easy to dismiss. As Christian says in her book, and I quote, "Time eyes us from the edge of our computer screen or the dashboard of our car, ticks away the minutes on the clock beside our bed. There are clocks set into our ovens, our smartphones, our iPods, a pantheon of tiny fretful gods, each one berating us under its breath for not meeting our commitments right this minute." Unquote. What is your relationship with time? If something has been telling you to slow down, yet you repeatedly ignore the impulse to do so, then now is the time to read this book. I know that between work and family and all of your other responsibilities, that it's often difficult to find time to read a book. Today, though, I respectfully challenge your thinking and say that you might want to read this book. When Christian McEwen talks about slowing down, she doesn't mean simply removing one or two items from your list just to make it a little bit shorter. What she means by slowing down is to physically slow down, to move slowly on purpose. Christian encourages walking instead of running, writing with pencil and paper instead of typing, and doing whatever it takes to stop subjecting your body to what she calls hurry sickness. She encourages people to make time to speak with other people, encourages people to learn how to do nothing, to spend time with a child, to go for a walk, to learn how to look, read a book, keep a journal, stop multitasking, take a break, dream, learn to listen, be grateful. While all of this sounds simple enough to do, there is a reason why these simple acts are the focus of her 367-page book. Christian says that our culture has either forgotten how to do them or these simple acts have been declared to be too time-intensive and impractical for daily life. Consider this thought that she shares with us. Quote, "We live in a culture that is obsessed with speed, a culture racked by strange illnesses and persistent low-level fatigue. How are you?" one friend asks another, and the answer is the same across almost all categories of age and race and class and gender. "I'm just so busy," people tell each other, half proud, half overwhelmed. "Really, I'm crazy busy. How are you?" Unquote. Sound familiar? World Enough in Time has 12 chapters. Inside each one, you'll find interesting history, research, and stories that were drawn from poetry, art, literary history, Buddhism, sociology, and statistics. Each chapter features 8 to 10 short sections, so you can dip into and out of this book at your leisure. You don't need to read all 367 pages at once. Christian closes each chapter with tactics that will lead to a slower life. These tactics will help you make changes to your busy schedule, changes that you probably already know are way overdue. The message Christian sends through her book is simple. Value slowness. Create an affluence of time. Are you ready? To find out how you can add World Enough in Time to your summer or fall reading list, visit the show notes for this episode. Talaterra is a podcast for and about independent educators working in natural resource fields and environmental education. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with friends and colleagues. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is Tania Marien.